Hello guys, today I'm starting this a new series. In next few days I'm going to make gut healing recipes. So today is the first recipe I'm starting. This is like very soupy, like a very gaps style kind of, but it's not really gaps, but it's like my version of gaps. So I'm using lamb. So one thing I want to tell you, like when you buy meat, buy with bones, good bone, has the bone marrow inside, so then you can get all the nutrition. So here what we need, I'm making lamb soup. Okay, first thing, here's the meat. You can see I bought this lamb, so I cut them in smaller pieces, and also has a, this is with the bone. Okay, there's a bone, a little bit fat, and I will show you. Look, you will get some bone marrow in this kind of bones, and has nice meat piece also. And these are 2 pounds of lamb. You can use lamb shank also for that. And I'm using the one big whole onion. I just make them a cube, like you don't have to cut them small or chop them. And so I'm using 2 inch of ginger, fresh one, and this is bunch of garlic. Garlic is more is better. I'm using like bunch of garlic, you can see, because these are smaller, so you can use like, you can just put them like this, or you can chop them also. And or if you're using bigger one, you can use the whole bulb of garlic, and a little bit of cabbage, not much, 1 cup of, and 2 green chilies I'm using here. And you can use some black pepper also. I'm going to use a little bit. And here's the salt, 2 teaspoons or to taste, and some apple cider vinegar. I'm using 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and some coconut oil, or you can use ghee. And these are carrots. I'm going to use them also. So these are 1 pound of carrot. I'm just washing them. I'm soaking them in baking soda for 15 to 20 minutes. Then I'm going to wash them and cut them. So I'm heating this pressure cooker. So there's the option. You can cook this in a Dutch oven, or you can cook them in a crock pot also, like at least 8 hours. So I'm using coconut oil. I'm using 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. You can use more, or you can use ghee, avocado oil also. Oil is hot, so I'm going to put this here meat in the pressure cooker. Okay, so now I'm going to add this salt here. You can add later more if you need it. And I'm going to add this apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon. If you don't have this, you can do fresh lemon juice, 1 tablespoon or a little bit more. Okay, mix them all together. This also, what this do? Salt and apple cider vinegar, if you fry them like this, it's kind of like a searing them. When you do this, it locks the moisture in the meat, and plus because lamb has some kind of like wild flavor, if wild smell, will take away the smell also, because many people, they don't like that, so that's why they don't eat lamb. Okay, so it's been I was stirring this almost like 15 to 20 minutes, and you can see all the pieces are like a little bit brown, little, very light, not so much at all. Okay, so, and I was doing this like a low heat. You can see how the piece looks. Now I'm going to add some onion here. So I'm going to add all this onion and this garlic and this ginger, and I'm using this green chili. So what I just cut them in like in the middle, and 2. You don't have to use this green chili at all, or you can use jalapeno 1, or you can only use black pepper. So I'm using half teaspoon of black pepper also. So now I'm going to mix all together, let this cook slowly, and while I'm cutting the carrot, like just like 5 or 6 minutes. Then I'm gonna put carrot and cabbage, and then put some water. So what I'm doing, look, I already cleaned them, everything. You can see the carrot. So cut them in the middle, because too long is hard to cut. So what you can do, half, Slice them in the middle. That's all. And just cut them in bigger, but you don't need you don't have to chop them smaller because they're gonna cook so nicely like this. See this big pieces right here. You can see. That's all. Okay, now I'm going to add this carrot. You don't have to add this much carrot, you can add less. Also cabbage, I'm using a little bit, but you don't have to use this, you know. But just a little bit I'm using. And I'm gonna cook them in so much here. And this pressure cooker is not a big enough for this much. I need a bigger pressure cooker, but I'm going to manage in this, but you should use bigger pressure cooker. So now I'm going to add some water here and close this pressure cooker. Okay, so now I'm going to add some water here, and you want to make sure you just cover all the way up, there's no measurement for this. You can see, that's all. And this is too full, but you have to cover this. Okay, now I'm going to close this. So when are you using this pressure cooker, what I do, start with now I'm going to start with the high heat. As soon as I heard the sound, whistle sound a little bit, I'm going to do all the way low, otherwise everything gonna come off, because the pressure cooker is smaller for this much stuff. Okay, so one thing, if you don't have pressure cooker, you know what you can do? Use Dutch oven and cook in there in very low heat. When you start boiling, just start low heat, and you can see when the meat are very soft. You can turn that off. And in this pressure cooker I cook for 50 minutes straight and leave it that way. So, and because after you turn this pressure cooker off, it is still everything is still cooked because the pressure is still there. So 15 minutes at least still cooking. So also, if you want to cook this in an oven or crock pot is perfect. You don't have to do anything. But before you add everything into crock pot, what you can do all the process. Fry this meat and put all these spices and onion, all the vegetable, and just mix them all together and fry them, and then put them in a crock pot and cover them with water and let this cook. And if you have any other question, what pan and pots you are using, just comment below. I will respond as soon as possible. Okay, you can hear the sound pressure, so I'm gonna do all the way. So I'm gonna use the smaller burner. Look how small. So I'm gonna put this in this stove, so you can cook slowly. And next 50 minutes, 50 to 55 minutes, I'm gonna leave it here. If using crock pot, it has to be different time and temperature. Okay, look at this soup. She's been eating the soup.
Yeah,
I don't know how many times.
This is only my second.
Oh, second. So that's why it's almost half pressure cooker. It was very full. It was full. But
that's right, I ate some too.
Yeah, so you can just heat and eat. You can add some rice.
It needs salt though, I will say that.
Okay, a little bit salt. I think need a little bit salt. You can add salt according to your taste. So.
And look what I found. Sheep hair.
Sheep hair. Whoa.